The Stolen Fate, A Battle Against Darkness. Investigator's name, Ezra Kane. Case number, 24480C. Location, undisclosed. Case type, spiritual and legal conspiracy investigation. Primary targets, ex-wife, her new partner, a contracted escort, corrupt officials in multiple countries. Objective, uncovered the orchestration of a RICO-level operation designed to eliminate the rightful heir and steal a multi-million-dollar inheritance. The setup, how the web was woven. The plot began with an ex-wife and her lover, a man with deep underworld ties. Their relationship was not built on love, but strategy, a calculated maneuver to remove the ex-husband permanently and take control of the wealth he was set to inherit. They recruited an ex-girlfriend, someone with a history of deception, a high-end escort operating under multiple identities, and a forged marriage license claiming she was single. This woman had already mastered the art of manipulation, making her the perfect pawn. The three conspired to create a false narrative, one that would paint the ex-husband as mentally unstable, reckless, and unfit to handle his own inheritance. Their method, a smear campaign, legal traps. Action taken. I trace financial transactions between the ex-wife's partner and the escort. Unearthed documents showing payments made to falsify marital status between the ex-wife and her lover using his stolen identity. Located communication records proving premeditated fraud and intention to commit homicide via third-party involvement. Forging of documents, power of attorney, medical records, DNA reports, and many more to show how demonic and ill intentions and greed. Excessive reports and falsified police and medical documents to frame him as unfit parent to take control and custody of his minor son. Smearing campaign and spreading news and rumors utilizing fabricated screenshots and communications to friends, family members, and business associates. Creation of dating sites profiles and posing fabricated nudes and communicating to victims as him, even rendering services as him and asking for money transfers via Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. The execution to death on paper. The conspirators bribed medical examiners, coroners, and law enforcement to establish a false death record. A cadaver was pulled from the morgue, and using forged documents, it was recorded as the ex-husband. A fake death certificate was submitted to the courts, granting the ex-wife and her accomplices access to estate funds. To solidify the deception, they moved quickly, withdrawing large sums and making illegal property transfers. The judge overseeing the case grew suspicious. Something didn't align with the timeline of death. Court records indicate that the judge specifically requested to speak with the deceased, a scenario that sent shockwaves through the conspiracy. Action taken. Reviewed all autopsy records, discovered discrepancies in dental records and blood type. Interviewed informants, uncovered a paid-off coroner, who later confessed to falsifying records. Tracked inheritance withdrawals, found funds were being funneled into offshore accounts. The unraveling, the lawyer's revelation. A lawyer representing the estate took an unofficial interest in the case. The more he dug, the more inconsistencies appeared. He followed the paper trail, suspecting a financial coup was underway. The lawyer hired private investigators who cross-referenced the supposed dead man's DNA with previous medical records. The truth exploded. The cadaver wasn't the ex-husband. The real ex-husband was still alive. The inheritance thieves were backed into a corner. They had already spent a portion of the inheritance before the fraud was discovered. Now, they needed to eliminate the ex-husband for real. Action taken. Intervened before a secondary hit could be carried out. Recovered hidden assets under shell companies linked to the ex-wife. Submitted new evidence to the legal system, leading to multiple arrests. The reckoning, divine justice falls. The spiritual realm had already intervened. Every ritual, spell, and occult practice they used to block divine judgment backfired spectacularly. A key witness flipped. The medical examiner was indicted. The escort's hidden marriage was exposed, voiding her fraudulent legal claims. The ex-wife's lover, fearing exposure, turned against her. He attempted to cut a deal with authorities, revealing the entire blueprint of the assassination plot. As the trial loomed, the conspirators fell apart under pressure. The demonic ex-wife pleaded insanity. The escort vanished, last seen trying to forge a new identity. The corrupt officials involved in falsifying death records were stripped of licenses and arrested. The RICO flying monkeys were traced and identified 52 persons who took part in gang stalking and smearing, and all received wire transfers from the same stolen inheritance advances. Action taken. Finalized legal proceedings to reinstate the ex-husband as the rightful heir. Sealed bank accounts connected to the theft. ensured all conspirators were prosecuted to the full extent of the law with no compromise and no negotiation. The aftermath. When people conspire against the divine order, justice will always be served. The conspirators believed they could rewrite fate, that deception could override destiny. But the universe does not reward betrayal. In the end, the ex-husband reclaimed his life, identity, and fortune. The traitors were buried under the weight of their own lies. The judge's curiosity exposed what would have been a perfect crime. The spiritual truth remains unshaken. What is stolen through deception will be restored through divine retribution. Final report filed. Investigator, Ezra Kane. Date closed, February 2025. Verdict, fate cannot be stolen. Justice is absolute. Everything will be revealed and finalized in divine timing. Ezra's trust in the divine is uncheckable and the devil is the biggest liar. All involved were demonic narcissists who operated and sold their souls to the devil and operated in demon time for what? Money, material gain. Was it worth the curse that will be binded on their bloodline? Fleeting temptations and impulsive choices and lack of moral and faith.